Hey, Bang Radio. Nah, but we're about to check in with this interview, man. We're gonna tap in with uh one of the OGs from St. Paul, Minnesota, man. So stay tuned, man. Let me hit this dial pad.
Um,
Savitty, what's up with you, G?
what's going on, man?
Oh man, I appreciate you letting me tap in with you for a moment of your time for the
Right.
for this interview we got popping here on Bang West Radio, man. This is episode 6, man. And again, I want to welcome
Mhm.
you to the show. Man, for the
Appreciate you having me, man.
yes, sir. And for the people who are hip to Savitty and to the people who not, man, let everybody know what city you from and how long you been at this rap thing.
Man, look, I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota. Originally from out near Projects, but Selby side. Um, man, I've been at this rap game shit my whole life. As far as taking it serious, I say I really kicked it off at around shit about age, in my 20s, but shit, I discovered rap back from the Ron DMC era, To put my age out there a little bit, I'm 45, so I've been at it for a minute, man. Ever since the Ron DMC days, that's when I first got that's when I got my fix, you know what I'm saying?
Right, right. So coming up, you mentioned in coming up, you've been with this since the beginning of hip hop
Right.
and been rapping for a minute, man. Who are some of your influences when it comes to the rap game?
Well, shit, like, from the very beginning, man, like I said, back in the Ron DMC era, when I first discovered them, and I was young, man, I was like 7 years old, some shit like that. When I first discovered them, that's when when I fell in love with it, like as a youngster. When I first seen that, okay, these are the coolest. Can I curse on here? Or
Yeah, you good.
you know, I'm like, these are the coolest motherfuckers on the planet. Like Ron DMC, when I first, everybody in my era, I'm sure I could speak for everybody. When I first saw them, I'm like, man, what's this shit they doing? Like, they cool. They the coolest people I ever seen. So that's when I first got put on to it. Then, doing talent shows and shit for the neighbors. And me and my brother was, out there doing the talent shows. We was I'm trying to be just like Ron DMC now. So I would have to first start off saying Run DMC and LO Cool J. Like I said, I'm an older artist, so them is I'm gonna start with them. Run DMC, LO Cool J, end up the whole NWA, shit like that. Tupac, Nipsey Hussle, and like all of them are my greats. As far as what who really wanted me push me to mash with this shit. From the beginning goes all the way down to from Nipsey Hussle, from Run DMC to Nipsey Hussle and shit like that, and so on.
Right. So, um, would it be safe to categorize Minnesota as Midwest?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. A lot of people see. A lot of people think be thinking I'm from Cali and all that because it's just my family, man. My family from there. It was the ones that when they came here years ago with Big U and everybody, getting money out my family house and shit like that. I was just it's the power of influence, man. But not only the power of influence, it's just, coming home from when you was born to a family full of 60's and all that. So that's like my whole style. That's where I get that from. But yeah, this definitely the Midwest. It is safe to say that because that's what it is.
That's right. So, yeah, shout out to all the Midwesterners that
Right.
heavy tuned in to the Cali Connect, Kansas City. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? All over up in there, man. So coming up, man, you being from Minnesota, was you getting access to a lot of California music?
I mean, yeah, because like I said, shit. I mean, that's all I knew since I was born. Because my family from L.A. that came here, they planted the seed, and that it was my biggest inspiration. That's all I was. The household music we listened to growing up and all of that. It got to the point where I didn't even know I was rapping. Like when people used to say, like, "Man, you sound like you from the West," I didn't even know that. Because that's all I knew.
Right.
So I'm like, man, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? I sound like it's just my normal. But so that's all I listened to growing up, man. That's all that was in the homes, in my family houses. So, I'm strictly Minnesota. That's why I represent it to the fullest, because this is where I'm born and raised. But, I can't help whatever was that passed on to me is in the bloodline.
Indeed. Indeed. Where does the name Savitty come from?
Savitty, man, that's my spirit name. It means survival tribe. A lot of people think I'm saying survive or try, but it's survival tribe, TRIBE. I'm from the tribe of survival. I don't go all too deep into the hows and the whys, and I'll lead you off a cliff trying to figure all that out. But I just ask that people respect it. I wear it on my chest, and that's what it is. It defines my life story. Which I'm gonna put out a book later of my life story. So once that book come out and people really understand how I grew up with the struggle, they'll understand it more.
Yes, sir. I could dig that. To your to your catalog, let's talk your music, man. Right for at this point. 20 before 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 the single Twin City shit, before the album Twin City shit, did you release any music?
Before the album Twin City shit, yeah, let me see. Well, years ago, like when I was my first album, shit was in 1998. My first album was in '98. It was released by a couple of homies from California, and don't want to talk too much on that because it was a bad situation, a bad deal. Basically, the whole yeah, it just I released it, man. But that was a whole nother situation where I didn't receive nothing for. That was my first experience of getting robbed for some music. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there. It's the whole NWA story, exactly how it happened to them, and Suge did that and did that. That's the same shit that happened to me, man. But it is what it is. But that was my first album in '98.
Okay, so '98 you dropped an album, and then
Yeah,
yeah,
yep. That was my very first album. Shit, bang too. But I don't even own the rights to that. And cause I own the rights to that. And shit. He went down. He gone now in jail. But I still just can't touch that. Now, that's one of my favorite, most hard work for albums too.
damn.
Put my blood, sweat, and tears into that, and it was out in stores, and some of the homies in California was saying they got a box mailed to their door, and man, yeah, that was a bad deal right there.
Well, you rebirth yourself with the release of Twin City shit,
Right, sure did, yeah.
and to your surprise, what was it a surprise to you the acceptance that you got from the city for that track and video?
For the Twin City shit,
Yeah.
no, it was actually. It was though. I'm gonna say it was because the way it blew up, the love that I got, and because that actually gave me the idea of reason why you see so many people in the video is because it went so well when I promoted it. Everybody showed up. The whole city was there in the neighborhood, and when it went so well, and I saw that, I just started. I started doing them once a year. So I used to do those big video shoots like once a year to have people come by with me and join me in the video and shit. And it was a success every year. Like, I did about 3 or 4 of them. And, to get that love from the city like that and they all coming out, just, yeah. I mean, it took me by surprise, but shit, it showed a lot of love. Like, I can have one. They wait for me to do another one, actually. So I really appreciate the neighborhood showing love for me like that.
So that's what's up. Okay, you dropped a single in 2021. The following year, you come with the full album.
Right.
What was the mindset behind putting that project together and releasing it?
Well, the mindset was, man, after it was a big success with the Twin City shit, and when I really saw it, because I wasn't for sure if I already knew I had the skills and motherfuckers liked my music and shit, but when I saw the success of Twin City shit, I just said, man, you know what? I'm gonna just give them all I got, because I already had. It wasn't a lot of those songs wasn't an album where I just sat down and was like, all right, now let me start my album from scratch to finish. It was a lot of shit that I already had, and I just said, man, I'm finna flood the town with all this. I'm finna just give them everything. I'm gonna put it together like an album. And I'm gonna really, if they fucking with Twin City shit like that, then we gonna see how they like the whole album. So I gave them it was like 17 songs in that I was getting off of 25. I was gonna pull a Nipsey move and be like, I want 100 like he did, but I saw him for 25 and out the trunk type shit, and it's out on all streaming platforms, but people were still supporting me with the CDs out the trunk, just for a souvenir.
When they did that, old school. That's right.
Yeah, when they was coming with that 25 out the trunk shit, I really, it just grew more love. Like, I was grateful for that,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's dope.
So my mindset, to answer your question, man, it was just to really, okay, I'm gonna really do this shit. I'm gonna really see how they like all my music, and that's when I did that.
Okay, man. So you just released a single, man. I'm gonna do it my way.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Do it anyway. Okay, my bad. I'm gonna do it anyway. That's the latest. That's the latest music from Savitty, man. So, how did that come together? And is there a plan for? Is there a plan for you to do a new album? Is that a single to the new album or something that's coming up?
No, I ain't gonna do a new album. I'm gonna just, I'm gonna hit them with just singles for a little bit. With a visual to it. Every video, every song that I do, I'm gonna make sure there's a visual to it. And so when I did that, it was just on some just wanting to get back in the lab shit. And but what really sparked that is I was tired of I was having a conversation with someone, and they was telling me what I shouldn't do and how I should do it. So I was so sick of motherfuckers trying to tell me what I should do, how I should do it. I should do it this way. So that's when I discovered, like, nigga, shut up. I'm gonna do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's how that came about. So like, I'm gonna do it, and one thing I like to do, I like to make songs that a lot of people I know for sure gonna relate to. Even talking to you, I know you can relate to that. Like, nigga, shut up. I'm gonna do it anyway, right?
Right.
So that's what came about with that. And I just put my visions to it, and I always try to make sure I got the best content, and it ain't nothing to get like, that's a new big body Porsche I had in there, and I can have I honestly believe I get a helicopter. Like, I just really put in the work of making my content good. So you've seen the cars and all that. I just really work hard for it, bro.
Yeah, it be dope. The visuals be dope, man.
Even though they be in the hey, that's why I don't pay attention to them comments. They be in the comments. They got everything to say about anything. Like, I wouldn't have wrapped the Porsche that way, or I would. But what about the fact that it is the new Porsche, motherfucker?
Right. I feel that. You mentioned earlier in the interview, you kind of hinted at your connection with California, and we've talked off the air, and you hit me up, put me up on some game. But and you said it was all right to talk about it. But for the people that don't know, man, this is my first time ever being out here. So you hear things and you be like, oh, okay. But then to see it is different. And it's a large gangbang culture out here in Minnesota, man. Um, they got some of everything, but
You from Cali, ain't you?
yeah, I'm from Cali. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So
I
don't.
know you see I know you see this shit. Like, man, look what we done did to the whole world. Cause y'all done did it. Y'all the reason why it done did shit.
So yeah, man. Speaking on that, man, you come from a notorious neighborhood in California, and it's found its way to become a notorious neighborhood in Minnesota. Um,
Right.
Rollin 60's neighborhood Crip gang, man.
Right.
Can you give us the back history on as much as you know, and it's what's safe to say about how that happened?
Well, man, look, a lot of people don't know the history of that, but my family had a big part in that. And speaking for St. Paul, Minnesota, for sure, because my family from since when I was a pup, man, years ago, they came here with all the Cali homies and came here with Big U, and Big U used to get money out of my people house and all of that shit. So the reason, my family's responsible for 60's being in St. Paul. Like, so those who's listening, they may, this may be new history to them. I know a lot of older homies know that already, but that's what they did. They from all out there, man. And I mean, like I said, every individual listening to this has been struck by some power of influence. Whether it's if you grew up in a house full of fags, well, nine times out of 10 you might be one. Wherever you grew up around and how you grew up with, you're influenced by that. So me coming home from the hospital, fresh out the womb, and slip into a world of family full of 60's and shit. Like, even I got some aunties that'll throw it up on you. So it's like, I didn't know nothing else. I didn't just wake up and watch Boys in the Hood movie and be like, man, I look cool. I want to be like, my family was that. I didn't have no choice. Now, I ain't speaking for nobody else. It's just the power of influence with everybody else. But, they came here, man, and planted that seed. And when I say planted that seed, shit, that motherfucker grew. Just like, when it touched New York, you got Bloods in New York and all that. The whole gang culture came from LA. Everybody know that. But and it just hit Minnesota through my family. I'm gonna say St. Paul. I don't know. I ain't speaking for Minneapolis and all that shit, but in my neighborhood, my family came with a hell of a seed, nigga, and they planted that motherfucker. They planted that motherfucker. It grew out of control.
So how long?
So with me,
not to cut you off. I want to let you get back to your story, but how long has this? When was this birth?
Man, this the birth of the seed. Shit, this was when I was a baby. Shit, I was a baby when I'm talking when they came here and did all that. This was long ago, man. I wasn't even off the porch yet.
So how long has Minnesota? I mean, St. Paul, your neighborhood, been banging 60's? About 30 years, 40 years.
Yep. I would say about. Well, the older homies been, like I said, because when my family them came here, and the older homies from Cali and shit, they came here. So before my generation, but not by too many years.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
By too many years. So, and then when I came along, I'm 45. And when I came along, everyone was, that's how we grew up with the shit. And then now the younger homies under me. So I hope they listening to this interview so they can actually, because if they sit back, I wonder if they ever thought, like, how did this happen to Minnesota? And I'm not saying, we take the credit and it's like a, big in my chest up thing, but I mean, that's just what it was. My cousin Big Purr Dog and them, as Big you talked about, they came here and flooded this shit. And reason I motherfuckers think, well, he from Cali. He sound like, because I read the comments. Some people like, I know him. He from out here, and well, you don't know me, nigga, because I ain't from out there. I ain't met you out there. But I just wanted to. I'm glad you asked that, because I want to really explain that. It's genetics, homie. Like, that's all I ever knew. You ask anybody since elementary, they like, this nigga's beating on the desk, nigga rapping like the way I rap.
You was living it. You was witnessing it. So yeah.
It was in my house.
It was in your house. Yeah, it was your lifestyle. I get it. I get it. So what is the difference between St. Paul and Minneapolis?
The difference between St. Paul and Minneapolis, well, you would think they totally two different in two different states, because like Minneapolis downtown is cracking. It's like on a level of, like, to us, it's New York, and then it's like as big as that, like downtown, and then downtown St. Paul is it's small, man. It's more like office buildings and shit. I ain't gonna front, like, ain't shit popping in St. Paul like Minneapolis. Like, sometimes, so when we want to have a good time, we go across the water. So it's a big difference, man. It's like, if you want to party, if you want to kick it, if you want to if you want to feel like you out of town, basically, shit, from St. Paul, drive across the bridge and go to Minneapolis. I don't know why it's like that, bro. I've been asking myself that for years, like, why it's the twin cities, but we ain't twins.
Right.
You feel the same way, though?
Yeah, because I rode through St. Paul. I actually rode through St. Paul not too long ago. I'm in St. Paul, and I'm like, this is way different than Minneapolis. Right. Like,
I always, so look, like, I love my neighborhood where I'm from. It's small, and we all like a family here. It's cool, but it's different in Minneapolis. Now, I did live over North Minneapolis for 10 years. So I lived over south for 3 years, and I lived over north for 10 years. So I ventured when I was growing up. I was going through some hard shit, and I was homeless. So I had went to. I'm like, man, fuck St. Paul. I was on that at first. So I had moved to Minneapolis, and I struggled some years over there. I was homeless some years over there, and I fucked around, man, and it became my home for a little minute, because I had more options.
mm-hmm.
It's way different, man, and that's funny because they call it the Twin Cities, but man, shit,
It's a big difference. Man, yeah. You mentioned in you being from 60's, and your family had real strong connections to Big U. I know you've been paying attention to the news with the 60's indictment and stuff in LA. What's your opinion on that?
Man, look, man. Like, so, the whole shit is, if I'm all for. Listen, man, this cripping is in me for what it was meant for. The revolution and progress, for the community to get stronger and stick together. And for that sake, I'm a natural born Crip, at heart, at blood, at all that. It's in my genetics for what it was caused for what it was created for in the beginning. It was a good thing, community thing. But far as, when people, stepping on what it was created for, and with all this other negative shit going on, and gang banging and the killing and the whatever bullshit that come with it, I ain't with that. Now, I'm not wishing no man to go to jail, whatever he may have brought on himself. Like, look, we know what this shit is. Like, only he know that. Only he know if he brought some bullshit on himself, then guess what? Then that means he stepped on his cripping. You know, everybody who went left with it, they stepped on their crippin because that's what it wasn't initially created for. So that's where I stand with it. You know, and shit, it's like that's just it from the beginning of time. Now I got lost in my shit somewhere down the line too because, you know, I was gang banging and I got jumped by man. Look, I done been through my shit with some blood with the Bloods and nigga, I done got through in bushes and all kind of shit like back in my times of all kind of shit, right? But my whole thing is if you step on what is created for, then who are we to blame? It's kind of like knowing right from wrong. Now, you know, I don't bang no more. It's all stupid to me. And if you going against your brother, now, it seems like a lot of us is waking up in that area. But as far as the YNs and shit who just don't get it, it's like you got to look at situations like Big U, what he went through. Now, he's master for the community. He got a football league or whatever he's doing. That's good. You know, that your crip is good. But only he know if he went wrong somewhere, then he stepped on it. That's all I got to say, you know?
One last question, man. You being OG from your neighborhood, do you speak to the YNs?
Man, look, I'm a motivational speaker. Sometimes I go to I go to the schools. The last school I went to was where I go to? I go to the schools, bro, because I'm on the board of a program called Ujama Place. It's where we give back. You know, we mentor and we speak to the kids and shit about not to live how we live. But so I was doing that, coaching that first there, but then they put me on the board. So now I help run it. So I'm glad you asked that. So, you know, if y'all YNs listen to this, y'all need a home to go to. We give Section 8 housing and all that. It's called Ujama Place. You know, I won 2 awards from the state, you know, for turning my life around. You know, I'm on the board with the former chief of police, John Harrington. You know, that's who run it. So, you know, I'm on the board with him.
That's dope, man. That's
hell yeah.
That's real dope, man. Give it back.
Ain't it, man?
Yeah, that's. I salute you on that one, G. For real.
Appreciate it, man.
Why don't you go ahead and plug your social media, man? Where people can find your music on YouTube, how they can find you on Instagram and whatnot.
Man, look, you can find me at my Facebook, which is my biggest platform with the reels. Savitty McCaleb. That's SAV as in victory. ITTY MCCALEB. My Instagram for my music is 7 Survival 7. The number 7. So number 7, Survival 7. You know, and shit, plug in with me, man. I got deals for features right now, and you know, I can do appearances, all that good shit. Tap in.
All right, man. Why don't you go ahead and introduce your latest single, man?
Man, my latest single is called In My Head. You know, it's called Demons in My Head because we all got them, whether we want to admit it or not. It's just like you want to steal a pack of gum. Guess what? It was a demon that made you do that. So it go as light as that. So I just want to clear that up first, explain it a little bit so motherfuckers won't be, so they can feel it more. It's called Demons in My Head. You know, it's I'm gonna do a listening party for it soon before I release it, promote it a little bit. And shit, it's another project that's gold. So tap in.
All right, so that's not released yet. So you about to release?
No, it ain't.
That's the one you working on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm about to when I cut off with you, man, I'm about to play the I'm gonna do it anyway.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
go ahead and introduce this. I'm gonna do it anyway, man.
Man, look, this is I'm gonna do it anyway. You heard, you know, the meaning of it. If whenever motherfuckers try to tell you what not to do and you feeling your heart is right, they always giving you some old naysayer ass criticism. This is what you play. This is what you turn up loud. And I'm gonna do it anyway. Coming right here. It's gonna be on radio. Videos out on YouTube.